The Fortnite endgame is the hardest part of the game, not just because you had to survive against over 80 other players, but because that's usually where the best players are seen. After all, that's the whole point of a battle royale, right? There are 3 main points that I'm going to make to improve your game. The first is your loadout, and what you need to be carrying by the end of the game to be set for the win. The second point is decision making and timing, when to do something and when not to do it. The third and final point is positioning, the most important part of the game, the winner and loser of every endgame. But before we get into it, subscribe. It goes a long way and supports the channel. So a loadout is the first thing you're looking for when you drop from the battle bus. The best gun is always in high demand. It's possible to still win with a gun that's rare as opposed to legendary, but it's always better to have the legendary weapon when you can. But it isn't just the guns that decide the outcome of a fight. It's also the consumables you have in your inventory. Now, don't get me wrong, everyone has their preferences as to what they have in their inventory, but my rule of thumb that has created the most success for me in the endgame is carrying a spraying weapon, like an AR or an SMG in my first slot. I find an SMG to be the best because it has decent range, but it's really great for getting into someone's box when the fight turns into a box fight. My second slot is always a movement item. Whether that be the new wings from this season or impulse grenades, movement is super important, especially in the endgame for this exact reason. Movement items get you out of situations that you would normally lose in, just like it did for MrSavage. In that third slot, there's always a shotgun, absolutely no exceptions. Shotguns are the pinnacle of every loadout. The shotgun wins fights in close quarters and is the determiner of whether or not you push another player or squad. The best shotgun in the game right now is the Gatekeeper shotgun, new to this season. Its super fast reload and quick rate of fire is unbeatable right now. Finally, at the end of my loadout belong the healing items. Of course, whatever is in your inventory is situational, fitting your environment and your health at that time, but ideally, I would have 3 big pots and 3 medkits. Big pots can be cancelled when you need to, same with medkits, plus they supply the most health. Medkits are also super important should the game end in a heal off or if you need to briefly travel in the zone. Now, I've made bad decisions in my life, and although Fortnite isn't real life, it's still frustrating to lose because of the consequence from a bad decision, like dropping into a box that's not yours or having bad timing when you decide to engage as a third party. I typically just keep to myself in the endgame. The less I fight, the better chance I have of being the final person alive. At the same time though, in a situation they don't want to be in. Honestly, the decisions you make and the timing you develop is just gained through experience in watching videos like this one. I can't stress enough how important positioning is in Fortnite. It will win or lose the situations you put yourself in, good or bad. I follow these easy rules. There are 4. The dead side of the zone is the zone that is moving into the storm like this one. You always need to be rotating to the dead side in the final stages of endgame. This keeps you safe from being trapped in between the storm and another player. No matter what, the person on high ground always wins. That is the highest percentage positioning and it's easier to shoot down than up. Rotating becomes a whole lot easier when you're on high ground too, because you can see who's where and where you need to go next. It's the end game. Stop hoarding your mats. Be as aggressive as possible when you can be. If you're more aggressive than everyone and you are confident that you're going to win the fight, then you have the best chance of winning it. Plus, you can only get better from it. Thanks for watching and subscribe.